What's up, guys? Hope you're having a good Friday. Hope you J chillin' in AP Lang. We're gonna get started with The Devil in the White City. The Devil in the White City was written by Eric Larson, who is the guy in the top right corner of the screen. It was released in 2004. Eric Larson is an American journalist and nonfiction author who was born in Brooklyn in 1954. He spent his childhood reading, writing, and drawing, and he grew up with a goal of becoming a New Yorker cartoonist. That dream was soon put to rest after he discovered his passion for journalism. Larson studied Russian history, language, and culture at the University of Pennsylvania and later attended the Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism. His career took off after being hired by Wall Street Journal and receiving recognition from Washington Post. After getting married to Christine Gleason and having children, the family moved to Baltimore, where Larson focused on composing unpublished novels. His first book published was The Naked Consumer, and he continued to write four more award-winning novels. Larson and his family now live in Seattle, and he spends his time reading and writing for pleasure. Synopsis of The Devil in the White City. The Devil in the White City is set in Chicago, 1893, and revolves around the story of one of the Chicago World Fair architects, Daniel Burnham, and the story of a doctor who also doubles as a serial killer. Crazy, Dr. H. H. Holmes. The book begins in 1912. Burnham is on a ship and hears the news that one of his colleagues involved in the creation of the fair, Francis Millet, has been in a ship accident. Hearing of Millet flashes Burnham back to the days where the two of them collaborated in order to design the fair that would top the Paris Exposition of 1889. They constructed neoclassical architecture and created a magnificent atmosphere that would impress all who attended the fair. However, there was some shady business going on, as Dr. H. H. Ohms opened up a massive hotel for the fair guests, later known as the Murder Castle. He would lure females into his hotel who would mysteriously go missing, so Detective Frank Geyer reached out to Carrie Patezel, the wife of one of Holmes' comrades, who was also mysteriously missing. Holmes was arrested and proven guilty as a murderer. Holmes also said that the devil lived inside of him, and a series of unfortunate events that occurred after he faced the death penalty pointed people to believe that he was truly the devil. So our first topic is gender issues. In The Devil in the White City, Burnham's storyline is connected to Holmes' life by the role and view of women in society at the time of the World's Fair. While they have different approaches to the treatment of others, men are conditioned to be aggressive, while women are expected to be meek, soft-spoken, and timid. During the World's Fair, all of the lead architects are male. Although there are some female contributors, they are paid and treated worse than the males. At one point, a female architect is actually sent to an asylum because of an outburst during an argument with another worker. The World's Fair itself is a prime example of the gender disparity between men and women, as male visitors of the fair pay to dehumanize women by paying to watch them belly dance. Holmes views women as objects that he can replace when he desires, and he expects them to be subservient and flexible to his needs. Holmes begins love affairs with multiple women, and he literally disposes of them when they no longer fit what he is looking for. In The Devil in the White City, women are made out to be tame and unable to stand up for themselves, while the men are expected to be aggressive, sometimes to the point of violence, and in charge. Our second main problem is anonymity. Near the beginning of The Devil in the White City, Larson writes how easy it was to disappear. 1,000 trains a day entered or left Chicago. When Larson writes this, he explains that because of the many people in Chicago, a sort of anonymity is created. Chicago is constantly crowded and increasing in population, which makes it easier for people to disappear. In the thousands of trains entering and leaving Chicago, many young single women hope to make Chicago their new home. When many of the women disappear, the police are not able to investigate every woman who goes missing because of the impersonal, crowded city. People become less emotionally connected to each other, which Holmes uses to his advantage. When someone goes missing from Holmes's hotel, his other customers, excluding the victim's family or relatives, seem to pay no attention to it. The more Chicago grows in population, the more anonymous it grows, and the more daring Holmes becomes. Author style. American author Eric Larson writes Devil in the White City as a third-person narrative. He captivates his audience by giving the reader an insider's perspective. Throughout the work, the reader witnesses problems as they arise and can almost feel the stress Burnham is plagued by. In terms of Holmes, The reader can understand how he is admired by seemingly everyone he encounters, yet know how purely evil his nature and intentions are. Larson insights: he was handsome and clean and well dressed and spoke in fine sentences. His gaze was blue and forthright. In conversation he listened with an intensity that was almost alarming, as if Belknap was the most fascinating man in the world, not just an elderly uncle visiting from Bigfoot Prairie. Holmes's cruel nature is apparent in Detective Geyer's thought process. Why had Holmes taken the children? Every crime had a motive, but the force that propelled Holmes seemed to exist outside the world of Geyer's experience. He kept coming back to the same conclusion. Holmes was enjoying himself. Holmes was testing his powers to bend the lives of people. Why is The Devil in the White City significant to AP Lang students? Well, let me tell you. The Devil in the White City is significant to AP Lang and composition students because it uses an intelligent vocabulary along with impressive use of rhetorical devices throughout the book. Larson tells the story of Dr. Holmes in a way that is both interesting and thought-provoking. The book has literary merit, which is shown by the fact that people view it as a great read and critics view it as a stellar book. Students can learn so much from the techniques and interesting style that Larson uses, which propels this book to new heights. The novel introduces students to many rhetorical devices that are highlighted in AP Lang and allows the student to be interested in the novel while learning. The Devil in the White City provides a great read, both intellectually and scholarly. Thanks for watching!